Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Thursday. It is the 9th day of May. It's Lost Sock Memorial Day. So take a moment right now to think about all the socks
think
you've
of
lost.
all the lost socks.
Have you ever lost a sock that mattered to you a whole lot?
Oh, yeah.
Have you really?
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I ever have.
Yeah, I've got lots of really great socks, most of which that I got from you for birthdays and Christmas.
I've bought you socks?
Yeah, that have naughty things written on them.
Oh, the weird sock thing.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's National Moscato Day, not to be confused with mosquitoes. Moscato is a type of wine. National Butterscotch Brownie Day, and National Sleepover Day. All of these things happening today. Also, it is a Thursday, so that means we've got a Dear John letter to get to. We'll do that here before you know it, and much, much more on this Thursday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. New study found that growing number of people are giving the marijuana extract CBD oil to their dogs to help them with aches and pains. So that's interesting. I'd never really thought of that.
Well, if it works on people, it would work on dogs.
I wonder if it's helping. Do you think the dogs are...
I'm sure it is. If it helps people, I don't know why it wouldn't help dogs.
Think they get the munchies for a Scooby snack?
No.
Does that not happen with the
No.
CBD? Okay, see, I don't know how it works. I'm not smart when it comes to those kinds of things, or many other things. This is Surveys and Studies and Such, brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs, brought to you by timeforrehab.com. Nebraska State Trooper arrests a man from California who's accused of driving under the influence of drugs at 4 miles per hour. Then 147 miles per hour.
Whoa, that's a big jump.
So a trooper spotted a Ford Mustang going very slow on I-80 near Kearney, Nebraska, 4 miles an hour. He tried to pull the Mustang over. That's when the slow driver decided, I'm going to go up. He got to 70 miles an hour. And there was another vehicle, another officer that was trying to get him. He was on the shoulder, driving recklessly. Finally got up to 147 miles per hour. About 16 miles later, he finally stopped and waited for the troopers to get up there. Then he drove away.
What?
Then he eventually hit some spike strips and stopped the Mustang by doing that. The whole thing lasted 22 minutes. The 37-year-old from California was booked into the jail. Suspicion of driving under the influence of drugs, willful reckless driving, and flight to avoid arrest.
Well, why would he stop and wait for them and then take off?
I think he thought it was funny.
That doesn't make any sense.
He probably thought it was funny. He was stoned, Heidi. Remember this? Do you remember the whole story? He was stoned?
Yes, I get that.
So he wasn't thinking this through. It's what happens, though, when your brain is on drugs. Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com. Eddie Murphy is working on a sequel to his classic film from the 80s, Coming to America. I'm actually kind of excited to see how this is going to go.
I'm excited as long as they
don't ruin the
original, because the original was so well done.
It was. Channing Tatum is in the news because he posted a nude shower photo on his Instagram. He lost a game of Jenga to his girlfriend. The photo got 6,000 likes in 2 hours. So he was in that Magic Mike show.
He lost a game of Jenga, so he decided to post a nude
Apparently
photo.
That was his punishment that they came up with.
Okay.
I don't know.
So his girlfriend wants him posting nudes?
Know. Heidi, I don't know.
I don't know either. Don't tell the stories if you don't know the facts.
How am I supposed to know? I know the facts. I just don't know why he did it. It doesn't make any sense to me. Actress Emily Ratajkowski posted a photo entitled Business Casual, and it was a pair of jeans that have her entire backside exposed.
Okay.
So that apparently is business casual in Hollywood. That's not good. Thanks for listening to Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now, your scoop of the day, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.net. Legendary astronaut Buzz Aldrin says mankind needs to migrate to Mars. So that's something that you see in movies all the time, but he's saying we need to start putting a plan together for that. So what do you think, Heidi? Would you want to live on Mars?
Not even a little.
Yeah, me neither. I kind of like it right here. Makers of Crocs released a new pair that come with a tiny fanny pack on the back of the shoes. I've had like 7 people send those to me, by the way. I have one pair of Crocs that are comfy. That doesn't mean that I would wear these. Why are you laughing so much?
Only people who wear Crocs would wear something like this.
Yeah, I like my Crocs, but I don't think
Crocs are horrible.
No, they're awesome. I love them.
Nothing
so
says I have given up on life quite like sporting a pair of Crocs.
I love my Crocs. And nothing says my feet feel very comfortable like a dude wearing Crocs. They're very comfy. Las Vegas has become the first city to legalize marijuana social lounges where people can go inside and smoke. Now, we were just recently in Las Vegas.
We were.
And we noticed a bunch of billboards for like dispensaries and whatnot. But we had dinner with a gentleman that's a police officer. Super nice guy.
Yes, we did.
And I was asking him about that, and he said, yeah, there's no place for him to smoke it, though. So apparently this is a new thing. So I don't know. That's kind of weird. I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. Family of a Kentucky man has filed a lawsuit claiming that he shot himself after appearing on the Jerry Springer show. So he was on the show and apparently didn't like the outcome of whatever happened on there. That's not good. And Avengers,
you can't sue the show because of that. He chose to go on.
I know.
And I'm sure he knew it wasn't going to be flattering.
I don't.
When he went
Do you know
there.
anyone who's
Nobody who goes on Jerry Springer thinks this is totally going to help.
Do you know anybody who's been on the show?
No.
I know a guy that's been on that show.
No, I don't.
I remember.
I'm proud to say.
I remember when he was on there. I was like, "What are you doing on there?"
Yeah.
And then I asked him like 20 years later. I hadn't seen him in about 20 years, and I asked him. I was like, "What was that all about?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't thinking very clearly." So he clearly didn't think it was a great thing either. But he didn't shoot himself. So I feel bad for the family, and I think that's really sad that all of that happened. If you want the details, I have a link in the show notes. An Avengers fan was exposed to the measles at the film's midnight premiere in Los Angeles last week. So, or maybe it's 2 weeks ago now. Whenever it was that they premiered. Was that 2 weeks ago?
No, it's been a while.
It's been going on. So he got the measles. Going to a movie. That's no good. Somebody was sick with the measles, and they're like, I'm going to take in this movie anyway. A group of test dummies fell off a New Jersey roller coaster and crashed into a hotel. Well, it's a good thing they were doing nothing more than just test dummies. Did they forget to buckle them in, do you think? Does that seem bizarre to you?
It seems extremely bizarre.
So a group of test dummies were on a roller coaster in New Jersey and somehow ended up crashing into a hotel. So maybe don't go on that ride. It sounds like a bad plan. The King of Thailand got married to a former flight attendant in a surprise wedding just 3 days before his coronation as the King of Thailand.
Oh, that's nice.
So, yeah, that's very cool. So that sounds like a reality show to me. Or some sort of movie or something. It doesn't sound like the real world, but it is. It really happened. The next King of Thailand recently married a former flight attendant 3 days before becoming the King of Thailand. And one last story we're going to get to here. I don't know much about this other than what I have here. Former Google CEO Eric Schmidt hastily resigned from the company, I think it was a week ago now, after 18 years at Google. I wonder what happened there. I was going to check into it, but
I've heard some of this, but I couldn't even begin to tell you what it was that happened. I
don't know who he is.
I didn't care enough to retain the information.
You didn't Google it?
No, but I was told about it, and I didn't care enough to
Thank you for
save
sharing
that information in my
Thank you for
mind.
sharing all of that
You're
wonderful
welcome.
information,
You
Heidi.
are welcome.
That seems like a John story right there. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
And it's time right now for
Dear John Letters.
Dear John, Dear John.
All right, coming up in a moment, we'll tell you how to submit your own Dear John letter. But first, let's get to the Dear John letter for this week. Dear John. That's how they always start. Have you noticed that?
I have.
That's really nice. I like that. So here we go. Dear John, my younger sister's getting married this fall. I'm very happy for her. We love her fiancé and his kids. He's a widower and has very tight relationship with his girls. This is the weird part. His daughters asked my sister to wear their mother's wedding dress. Is that normal?
Ooh.
My sister agreed to do it, and I think she's having the alterations done now, but I think she's sad about it. She broke down in tears on the phone the other day when we were talking about it. Should I try to talk to her more about this or just butt out? I've never heard anything like this. I'm still a little shocked that they asked her and very shocked that she agreed. Am I making a bigger deal out of this than it is? Signed, Sad Sister.
Well, you should stay out of it.
Yeah, I
because
think
it's
so,
none
too.
of your concern.
Yeah, and this is one of those things that, I can understand.
But it is weird.
It is a bit different.
I mean, I think it's great that the kids think they're being supportive and stuff of this new union, but I don't know that the
The new wife?
deceased mother should have anything. I don't know. It feels like there should be a new beginning for a family, and not that she wants to push the mother who has passed away out, but that's a lot to ask.
I think this is just kind of a touchy subject because, the struggle is, and I hope these young, because it says daughters, so I hope the young girls understand that, she's not there to replace your mother. She's not going to replace your mother. Your mother that passed away, I know you have a tight relationship, had a tight relationship. Otherwise, if you weren't missing her, you wouldn't be saying, hey, I want her to be a part of this somehow. But I can also understand where, to walk a mile in this new bride's shoes, she's got to be thinking, give me a chance to be me.
Right.
So I can see where she would.
And then if they're constantly, they'll be always comparing the two pictures side by side, and, oh, this is what mom looked like in that dress, and that's what you look like in the exact same dress.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just think that's a bad idea. I would politely have said, I respect your mother too much to put that dress on, and I feel like I need to have my own gown.
Kind of sounds like maybe it's too late for that because this is happening. Yikes. It's in the fall.
That is
But here's what could be
awful.
Again, this is from Sad Sister. This is a sister of the young lady that's gone through this. Be there for her and just reach out to her and say, hey, you know what? I think it's great that you're doing this for the girls, but maybe have an open conversation with your sister and just say, if you need to talk about it, talk to me about it. But
that's an unhealthy request.
And it says right on here they're having the alterations done, so it's not like you're stepping right into this dress that's going to fit you. It's either too big or too small. And again, like Heidi was just saying, there are going to be photos of here's what my mom looked like in it, and here's what my new stepmom looked like in it. I don't know. It's a touchy subject, but I've got a link to this in the show notes if you'd like to, or on our Facebook page. It's probably the best place. We have it in the show notes if you want to read the whole letter. But if you want to actually chime in, maybe put in a comment on what you think, you can do that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Also, if you'd like to submit a Dear John letter, again, I keep asking for some that could be fun. I mean, I'm not going to joke about this. You guys don't give me a whole lot of room for humor here, do you? But if you've got a Dear John letter that you'd like to submit, whether it's something where we can joke around and have fun, or even a subject like this where it's a little more serious, you can submit the Dear John letter either through our Facebook page or right through the website, johnandheidishow.com. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The city with the most single men per capita is in California. Now, we talked about, I think.
Yeah, we did. Talked about the most single ladies. They were in the Carolinas.
Ladies looking to land a man should head west, where the city with the highest proportion of single dudes is Hanford, Corcoran, California.
Okay.
1,859 single guys for every 1,000 single women. That's a lot of extra dudes.
Yeah, it is.
For every extra lady. So there you go. If you're interested, ladies, I've got a link to this in the show notes.
Maybe the Carolinas and that place in California could just do a little trade.
Yeah, there you go. Send you some ladies for some of your men. I've got a link to this in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net, bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, fear this. Time for fun with phobias. Atychipophobia. A-T-Y-C-H-I-P-O-P... a phobia. Atychiphobia. Atychiphobia.
The fear of eating chocolate chip cookies that turn out to be oatmeal raisin.
No, but that's a great... I actually have that. Whatever that
I know
is.
you do.
I've done it a couple of times. I'm like, oh, cookies. And I'll grab it, I'll take a bite, and I'm like... She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, it's oatmeal raisin.
I actually love oatmeal raisin cookies.
Give me your napkin, quick. I've got to spit this out. I don't mind. I actually will finish the cookie now. But it's fear of failure. Atychipophobia. Atychipophobia. Today's fun with phobias.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Now some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Who drives around on a motorized cart wearing a blue bonnet and purple and red flowery dress and a black jacket and white tennis shoes and then takes 28 cans of infant formula? A man in Florida who's apparently trying to be, in the news. Because why else would you do all of that? But this happened in Florida. They're trying to identify a man who was dressed as I just said, wearing a blue bonnet, purple and red flowery dress, black jacket, white tennis shoes, on a motorized cart, stole 28 cans of infant formula. He's in his 50s. The complaint claimed that he took 28 Enfamil formula cans, concealed them under his dress, and left the store without paying. $450 or more is how much that stuff is worth.
Oh, I know.
It's expensive stuff.
It's crazy
but,
expensive.
I understand why. It's good stuff, too. So, anyway, this dude, why would you do all of that? Like, you're not trying to blend in at all when you're dressed like that, wearing a blue bonnet and a...
He either has a baby in his household that needs food, or he's going to sell that.
Or... if he was wearing a blue bonnet, maybe he is just a big baby, Heidi. Mm-hmm. Maybe he likes to pretend to be a big... I don't know. Some weird news. I've got a link to it in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your moment of duh, brought to you by FunkyMonkeyShirts.com. A Florida woman was arrested for slashing a man's tires because he wouldn't stop playing video games in the middle of the night.
Oh, well.
Criminal mischief she was charged with. Says here, 41-year-old Sonia Catherine Martin was trying to sleep at 1:30 in the morning. However, the woman was unable to do so because she kept getting disturbed by a man who was playing video games. Now, to get him to stop, she disconnected the internet router.
Okay.
Undaunted by this, the man then began to play games on his phone instead.
Oh, my gosh.
Doesn't say how they're related, but probably married or dating, I'm assuming, because she then went outside and slashed his tires. When she came back, she threw the knife to the ground. The victim rushed out to see what happened. All 4 tires on his car were flat. She slashed them all, trying to get him to stop playing video games. Just stop playing video games. It's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
If it's that distracting,
if you're keeping people up,
yeah, don't do that. That's not good.
Be a grown up.
Yeah, it's today's moment of duh.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Now, these three things. Heidi, tell me, what do these three things have in common? This is one where you have to put a word behind it for it all to make sense. Okay, fly, news, or toilet. What would those
Paper.
Yes, fly paper, newspaper, toilet paper. That is correct. Good job, Heidi. All of the points go to you today.
I was going to say fishing.
Fly fishing, news fishing, toilet fishing.
Or wheel. Flywheel.
News wheel?
News wheel.
Toilet wheel? No. Paper was correct. Let's just stick with that. Thanks for listening to these three things.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of Rip It Gloves, and that's at RIPIT gloves.com. There's a promo code radio. Take a listen
Before
to this.
you go on, I do want to say we have had the pleasure of trying these things.
I wear them. They're cool.
They're fantastic.
They're amazing.
And your hands don't sweat
Yeah,
in
they're
them
neat.
like you do in most work gloves. You got to check them out. If
Yeah.
you haven't ever tried them, you got
I'll
to
get
try
a link
them.
in the show notes. You can check that out. Again, in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Take a listen to this. These guys are friends. Two Texas men. Been friends for years. They recently found out they're actually brothers.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, they took DNA tests, and they're like, what do you got over there? And he's like, this is what I got. What do you got? Oh, my goodness, we're brothers.
Oh, that's crazy.
Walt Gordy, age 37, always wanted to have a brother, but he was an only child. Mark Tollison, 36, also always wanted a brother, but he never had one. Little do they know, they were both brothers with each other.
Okay, so they have the same mother or the same father?
Well, it says they have the same biological father. They found that out through a DNA test through the site 23andMe. Wow. Since their discovery, they've traveled together, and their families have shared holidays together. He said, I always wanted a sibling. With him, it was immediate love. So this is really cool. They have photos of the two boys growing up, separate lives completely, but there's definitely a striking resemblance.
How bizarre. And now
these
their
two-
families are all having holidays together? That's weird.
Why is it weird? They're brothers. They've been friends for a long time.
Those two are brothers. I thought, are you talking their parents and their cousins and everybody?
No, these guys.
These guys and their kids and their... Okay, that's not as weird. I thought you meant, like their birth
Extended
father and, all these people now coming together to have...
Even if they were,
holiday.
I think it's really cool. But I've got a link to the story if you want to read all about it. I think that's neat. And I don't know. That's just one of those things where they were friends. They got along really well. They didn't know why. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know why. We're brothers. That's why. So very cool. I've got a link to that story and many other fun things in the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Thursday.